Hello there, and welcome to the Sleepy Science Story. Tonight, we're drifting gently into the quiet science of healing, the remarkable work your body performs every single moment. Even as you listen, your cells are restoring balance, repairing damage, and quietly protecting you in ways you'll never feel or see. Healing isn't only what happens after illness or injury, it's the constant rhythm of renewal that keeps you alive, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat. So allow yourself to slow down, relax, and simply be here. Together, we'll explore how the body heals calmly, peacefully, and without hurry. Just breathe and enjoy the journey. Close your eyes, let your body settle, and allow your mind to drift. Tonight, we'll explore the quiet, extraordinary work of renewal happening inside you. Your body is never truly still. From the tiniest cells to the largest organs, life within you is constantly renewing itself. Bone cells slowly exchange over the years. The lining of your stomach refreshes in mere days, and the surface of your skin replaces itself in a continuous, silent cascade. Almost everything that forms your body today will eventually be gone, yet the blueprint persists, guiding every cell to rebuild again and again. This constant restoration is far from random. It follows a rhythm, a steady cadence that is the very breath of biology. You are, in essence, a living river of changing cells, endlessly moving, yet somehow remaining whole. With each heartbeat, your body quietly rewrites its story, repairing and maintaining itself with astonishing precision. Hidden within every organ are tireless caretakers, stem-like cells that linger patiently, waiting for the signal to begin repair. In your skin, they replace cells lost to friction and sunlight. In your intestines, they rebuild the lining worn down by digestion. In your muscles, they lie dormant until an injury awakens them. Once called into action, these cells multiply and migrate, stitching tissue together with remarkable skill. Some of them have been with you since before birth, carrying the memory of your body's original design, ensuring that every system knows what complete health feels like. Even the skin demonstrates this silent mastery. When wounded, it orchestrates a tiny, intricate process beneath the surface. Blood flows to form a protective seal. Fibroblasts construct a collagen scaffold, and new cells crawl across it from below, gradually closing the gap. Nerves and vessels reconnect, restoring sensation and warmth. Scars are the visible echoes of this invisible choreography, reminders of the body's innate intelligence. Even during sleep, these patterns persist on a microscopic scale, repairing everyday wear and tear. The skin is more than protection. It is a masterful artist, continuously restoring itself with quiet precision. Bones, too, are active participants in this unseen work. They sense the forces moving through them, responding to pressures and adjusting where strength is needed. Your skeleton is far from static. It listens, adapts, and rebuilds in perfect harmony with the life around it. When you walk, lift, stretch, or simply stand still, the bones in your body are quietly listening. Tiny cells called osteocytes sense where pressure is greatest and send messages to the cells responsible for removing old bone and forming new structure. Through this silent conversation, your skeleton reshapes itself to match the life you live. It strengthens where you place weight and lightens where it is no longer needed. Even after a fracture, this remarkable system restores order, weaving new layers of mineral and collagen until stability returns. Every healed bone carries a memory of the forces once placed upon it, which is why astronauts lose density in weightlessness, then rebuild it when they return to Earth. Your bones are not fixed supports. They are living instruments, constantly tuning themselves to gravity and motion, rebuilding their strength beneath your skin. Beneath your rib cage lies another marvel of renewal, the liver. It is the only human organ capable of regenerating itself almost completely. Even when a portion is lost, the remaining tissue grows rapidly to restore its original size, guided by precise genetic signals. Hello there, and welcome to the Sleepy Science Story. Tonight, we're drifting gently into the quiet science of healing, the remarkable work your body performs every single moment. Even as you listen, your cells are restoring balance, repairing damage, and quietly protecting you in ways you'll never feel or see. Healing isn't only what happens after illness or injury. It's the constant rhythm of renewal that keeps you alive, breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat. So allow yourself to slow down, relax, and simply be here. Together, we'll explore how the body heals calmly, peacefully, and without hurry. Just breathe and enjoy the journey. Close your eyes, let your body settle, and allow your mind to drift. Tonight, we'll explore the quiet, extraordinary work of renewal happening inside you. Your body is never truly still. From the tiniest cells to the largest organs, life within you is constantly renewing itself. Bone cells slowly exchange over the years. The lining of your stomach refreshes in mere days, and the surface of your skin replaces itself in a continuous, silent cascade. Almost everything that forms your body today will eventually be gone, yet the blueprint persists, guiding every cell to rebuild again and again. This constant restoration is far from random. It follows a rhythm, a steady cadence that is the very breath of biology. You are, in essence, a living river of changing cells, endlessly moving, yet somehow remaining whole. With each heartbeat, your body quietly rewrites its story, repairing and maintaining itself with astonishing precision. Hidden within every organ are tireless caretakers, stem-like cells that linger patiently, waiting for the signal to begin repair. In your skin, they replace cells lost to friction and sunlight. In your intestines, they rebuild the lining worn down by digestion. In your muscles, they lie dormant until an injury awakens them. Once called into action, these cells multiply and migrate, stitching tissue together with remarkable skill. Some of them have been with you since before birth, carrying the memory of your body's original design, ensuring that every system knows what complete health feels like. Even the skin demonstrates this silent mastery. When wounded, it orchestrates a tiny, intricate process beneath the surface. Blood flows to form a protective seal. Fibroblasts construct a collagen scaffold, and new cells crawl across it from below, gradually closing the gap. Nerves and vessels reconnect, restoring sensation and warmth. Scars are the visible echoes of this invisible choreography, reminders of the body's innate intelligence. Even during sleep, these patterns persist on a microscopic scale, repairing everyday wear and tear. The skin is more than protection. It is a masterful artist, continuously restoring itself with quiet precision. Bones, too, are active participants in this unseen work. They sense the forces moving through them, responding to pressures and adjusting where strength is needed. Your skeleton is far from static. It listens, adapts, and rebuilds in perfect harmony with the life around it. When you walk, lift, stretch, or simply stand still, the bones in your body are quietly listening. Tiny cells called osteocytes sense where pressure is greatest and send messages to the cells responsible for removing old bone and forming new structure. Through this silent conversation, your skeleton reshapes itself to match the life you live. It strengthens where you place weight and lightens where it is no longer needed. Even after a fracture, this remarkable system restores order, weaving new layers of mineral and collagen until stability returns. Every healed bone carries a memory of the forces once placed upon it, which is why astronauts lose density in weightlessness, then rebuild it when they return to Earth. Your bones are not fixed supports. They are living instruments, constantly tuning themselves to gravity and motion, rebuilding their strength beneath your skin. Beneath your rib cage lies another marvel of renewal, the liver. It is the only human organ capable of regenerating itself almost completely. Even when a portion is lost, the remaining tissue grows rapidly to restore its original size, guided by precise genetic signals and expanding blood vessels. This ability may be a distant echo of ancient biology, inherited from creatures able to regrow entire limbs. Yet, despite its workload, cleansing the blood, storing fuel, balancing hormones, managing chemistry, the liver simply continues, quietly and tirelessly. Its resilience is a testament to the body's deep-rooted design for survival, a reminder that renewal is not the exception, but the rule. Even the nervous system carries this instinct to heal. When a nerve is damaged, the body lays down a delicate trail of chemical signals, guiding the regrowing fiber back toward its original target. Support cells, called Schwann cells, line the path like glowing markers, helping the nerve reconnect with the muscle or skin it once served. Progress is slow, sometimes only a millimeter a day, while the brain waits patiently for sensation or movement to return. Not every journey completes perfectly, yet the attempt never truly ends. Nearby nerves may adapt, forming new pathways instead. Healing within the nervous system is a quiet act of persistence, a steady search for reconnection, guided by memory, chemistry, and the body's deep desire to feel whole again. And flowing through it all is the blood, carrying not just oxygen, but messages, signals, and the constant call for repair.
When tissue is injured, tiny fragments from damaged cells release chemical distress signals into the surrounding area. Platelets detect the alarm and move in immediately, not only to seal the wound, but to broadcast messages through the bloodstream. These signals call white blood cells, growth factors, and repair proteins to the site, while others travel further afield, preparing distant organs to support the healing process. In these moments, the bloodstream becomes a messenger network, sharing news of what has happened and instructions for what must follow. All of this unfolds faster than conscious thought. Even as you rest, your circulatory system is guiding a vast, invisible choreography of renewal, with every heartbeat carrying not only oxygen, but direction. Much of the body's deepest healing begins when you fall asleep. As you drift into slow, restorative rest, the thinking mind grows quiet, but your biology becomes profoundly active. Growth hormone rises, signaling cells to divide and repair. Muscles mend tiny tears. The immune system reviews the day's encounters, learning and storing defenses for the future. Even the brain clears away chemical waste using gentle waves of cerebrospinal fluid. This nightly restoration is an ancient rhythm, essential to clarity, health, and resilience. Without it, stress builds, wounds linger, and focus fades. Sleep is not an interruption to life. It is a hidden workshop that opens only when you surrender to rest. Night after night, your body recalibrates, repairing DNA, soothing inflammation, balancing hormones, and resetting the heart's rhythm. The deeper the rest, the more powerful the recovery. As your eyes close, your cells quietly shift from defense to renewal, working through the darkness to prepare you for morning light. Even your DNA carries its own repair system. Every day, the delicate strands inside your cells are damaged by sunlight, pollutants, or simply the chemistry of living. Yet most breaks last only moments. Specialized enzymes constantly patrol the genetic code, searching for flaws and correcting them with astonishing accuracy. Some fix tiny errors, others rebuild entire segments. This microscopic craftsmanship takes place millions of times a day, silently preserving your health. When repairs succeed, life continues unchanged. When they fail, the body activates safeguards to recycle or replace the affected cell. Damage is not treated as disaster, but as a signal to restore. Deep within every cell lies a toolkit shaped by evolution, ensuring that even your genetic story knows how to heal. Sunlight, too, plays a role in this healing rhythm. Morning light is more than brightness, it is a biological cue. When it reaches your eyes and skin, it resets the body's internal clock, aligning hormones that control sleep, mood, metabolism, and recovery. Ultraviolet light helps the skin produce vitamin D, strengthening bones and supporting immune balance. Light also influences serotonin in the brain, lifting mood and steadying the nervous system. Too little light and the body slows. Too much and the very same energy can cause harm. The key is balance. Our biology evolved alongside the rising and setting sun, using its rhythm as guidance for when to wake, restore, and heal. Standing in gentle morning light quietly reminds the body that life continues, that each day begins a new cycle of repair. Light becomes a daily signal of renewal, a quiet ceremony written into the rhythm of the sun. Your skin also carries a kind of memory. When an area that was once injured is damaged again, the surrounding cells react faster than before, as though the tissue remembers how to heal. Immune cells arrive sooner. Stem cells awaken quickly. Blood vessels begin forming without hesitation. Scientists believe the body stores traces of previous wounds, priming the region for future repair. Even scars may influence how new tissue forms in their place. Healing, then, is not only a response, it is a learned adaptation. Each recovery refines the body's wisdom, guiding the next one toward wholeness with greater ease. But stress can gently slow this process. When worry or pressure lingers for too long, cortisol rises, a hormone meant for survival rather than recovery. Blood is redirected to the muscles, leaving the skin and organs waiting for nourishment. Inflammation becomes confused, immune cells lose precision, repair slows, not dramatically but subtly, like a song drifting off beat. Thankfully, calmness restores balance. Deep breaths, quiet moments, and genuine laughter help reset the body's signals, allowing healing chemistry to flow again. Beneath every stressful day lies the potential for renewal, waiting for the body to feel safe. Laughter itself becomes part of the medicine. When you laugh, tension softens, the diaphragm gently massages your organs, and the heart settles into a steadier rhythm. Endorphins rise, easing discomfort and lifting mood. Immune cells strengthen, blood vessels open. Even brief laughter reduces the stress hormones that hold healing back. Joy becomes a biological signal, and shared laughter amplifies it, syncing breath and heartbeat between people. Healing, it turns out, can be social as well as physical.
Even tears have purpose. They are not simply water, but a protective fluid rich in lysozyme, an enzyme that helps defend the eyes from bacteria. Emotional tears also contain stress chemicals, allowing the body to gently release them. Crying is not weakness, it is a self-balancing response, cleansing both emotion and biology. It reminds us that immunity and feeling are deeply connected, and that healing often begins the moment we allow release. Your gut lining offers another example of continuous renewal. The digestive tract endures acid, enzymes, and vast colonies of bacteria, one of the harshest environments in the body. To cope, its lining replaces itself every few days. Stem cells at the base of each tiny fold divide rapidly, sending new cells upwards to replace the ones that have completed their work. As the old layer gently sheds away, the gut remains whole, resilient, protected, and always prepared for the next meal. This constant renewal in the gut protects more than digestion. It supports immunity too, since much of the body's defense system lives here. When this balance is disturbed, fatigue, inflammation, and discomfort can follow. Yet even then, the gut quietly begins the work of rebuilding. Its continual regeneration is one of the clearest expressions of life's determination to restore itself, again and again. Even the heart, once believed to be even tears have purpose. They are not simply water, but a protective fluid rich in lysozyme, an enzyme that helps defend the eyes from bacteria. Emotional tears also contain stress chemicals, allowing the body to gently release them. Crying is not weakness, it is a self-balancing response, cleansing both emotion and biology. It reminds us that immunity and feeling are deeply connected, and that healing often begins the moment we allow release. Your gut lining offers another example of continuous renewal. The digestive tract endures acid, enzymes, and vast colonies of bacteria, one of the harshest environments in the body. To cope, its lining replaces itself every few days. Stem cells at the base of each tiny fold divide rapidly, sending new cells upwards to replace the ones that have completed their work. As the old layer gently sheds away, the gut remains whole, resilient, protected, and always prepared for the next meal. This constant renewal in the gut protects more than digestion. It supports immunity too, since much of the body's defense system lives here. When this balance is disturbed, fatigue, inflammation, and discomfort can follow. Yet even then, the gut quietly begins the work of rebuilding. Its continual regeneration is one of the clearest expressions of life's determination to restore itself, again and again. Even the heart, once believed to be unable to heal, shows traces of renewal. Hidden within the heart muscle are small groups of cells capable of limited regeneration. When damage occurs, they awaken, dividing slowly to replace what has been lost. The process is modest but profoundly hopeful. New blood vessels also form, creating subtle detours to keep circulation flowing. Movement, rest, and emotional calm all support this healing environment, easing inflammation and improving oxygen delivery. The heartbeat itself becomes a signal for growth, a constant reminder that the organ which never rests is always striving to repair. Renewal, it seems, lives even in the most tireless part of the body. When a wound forms, new blood vessels grow like roots beneath the surface. Injured tissue sends urgent messages for nourishment, and nearby vessels respond. Endothelial cells extend outward, forming delicate tubes that thread into the wound like tiny stems in fertile soil. This process, called angiogenesis, turns damaged tissue into a living network once more. As oxygen begins to flow through these new pathways, color returns, and the pale wound blushes pink with life. Over time, the network stabilizes into lasting capillaries that continue feeding the repaired skin. Within every scar lies a hidden garden of vessels that once grew toward healing. Platelets are the first to answer the body's cry for help. The instant the skin is breached, these tiny fragments sense the change and gather at the site, sealing the opening to stop the bleeding. But they do far more than plug the gap. They release powerful signals that summon immune cells, stimulate collagen production, and encourage new vessels to grow. Their arrival sets the tempo for the entire healing process. Without them, wounds would remain open and directionless. Long after the surface has closed, the imprint of their guidance remains within the repaired tissue. In the great orchestra of healing, platelets play the opening note. And when the body cannot perfectly restore what was lost, it creates a patch, the scar. Fibroblasts lay down strong strands of collagen, weaving a protective layer to secure the wound quickly. This new tissue is tougher and less flexible than the skin that came before. It carries no hair, no pores, no fine patterns, but it shields what lies beneath. Over months and years, the collagen softens and settles into the body's natural lines. Some scars quietly fade, others remain as lasting marks of survival. Each one represents a compromise between speed and perfection, between preserving beauty and preserving life. Scars are stories written in the skin. They are proof that the body endured and chose to heal. Every scar carries a silent memory, a reminder of the moment your body chose survival over surrender. And then there are a few extraordinary people whose skin heals without leaving any trace at all. This rare gift is known as scar-free healing. In these individuals, skin repairs itself with the incredible precision usually seen only in early life. Collagen reshapes smoothly, cells move in perfect harmony, and the wound restores itself almost flawlessly. Scientists carefully study this natural miracle, searching for ways to guide ordinary healing toward the same perfection. Newborn babies show this power most clearly, but as we grow older, the ability slowly fades. Even so, researchers are learning how subtle signals and growth factors may help awaken this dormant potential once again. One day, healing without scars may restore both beauty and function after serious injuries. For now, every seamless repair feels like a whisper from our biological past, a reminder that the blueprint for perfect regeneration still lives quietly inside us. Slow, mindful breathing can also reshape the chemistry of healing. With each deep breath,
the body shifts into a calmer state. The heart eases its pace, blood vessels relax, and stress hormones gently fall. Deep inside the cells, genes linked to repair become more active, while those tied to inflammation begin to fade. Oxygen flows more freely, fueling the mitochondria, the tiny engines behind recovery. Over time, this simple rhythm of inhaling and exhaling guides the body back toward balance. Long before science could measure it, ancient traditions already understood this truth. Every breath becomes both message and medicine, gently transforming the state of every cell within you.
Even the brain carries the incredible power to rebuild. Its neurons form vast networks, and when damage occurs, new pathways slowly begin to form. This remarkable ability, called neuroplasticity, allows the brain to reorganize itself so movement, memory, and emotion can continue. Therapy, learning, repetition, and experience all help strengthen these fresh connections. It is as if the brain redraws its own map whenever life changes the landscape. The process may take months, even years, but it never truly stops. Every new skill you learn, every emotional challenge you overcome, is proof that the brain is still adapting. Healing here is not about replacing what was lost, it is about creating new routes for life to flow through. In this gentle flexibility lies one of the most hopeful truths of biology. Even memory itself is not fixed. Each time we recall a moment, it is rebuilt, and emotional healing can reshape the way those memories feel. The past may not change, but the weight it carries can. When our emotions change, our memories often change with them. Through therapy, self-reflection, and new life experiences, even painful memories can lose their sharpness. The brain quietly rewires the chemistry behind those memories rather than erasing them. The amygdala, hippocampus, and prefrontal cortex work together, gently updating old experiences with new understanding. Emotional healing becomes physical healing, reshaping neural pathways and calming the signals that once kept the body on high alert. In time, it becomes possible to remember without reliving, to hold the past without being trapped inside it. True healing is not forgetting, it is transformation, turning wounds into wisdom. Each time the mind revisits the past with compassion, the brain rebuilds itself in a kinder form. Hope itself can guide the body toward recovery. When we believe that healing is possible, the brain begins to release dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins, chemicals that support immunity and cellular repair. With hope, the nervous system relaxes, blood flow improves, and inflammation slowly decreases. Researchers have repeatedly seen that hopeful patients tend to recover faster, not through miracles, but through measurable biological changes. Hope quiets fear, and fear is one of the greatest barriers to healing. It tells the body that effort still matters, that rebuilding is worth the energy. Even the smallest spark of optimism can begin a chain reaction through every cell. The mind speaks in thoughts, but the body hears them as chemistry. In this way, hope becomes a living signal to keep moving toward life. Meditation, too, helps the body restore itself after stress. When the mind settles into stillness, the heart slows and the breath grows deeper. Beneath the surface, the body begins to rebalance. Genes linked to inflammation become less active, while pathways responsible for protection and repair grow stronger. Cortisol levels fall, giving tissues the quiet space they need to regenerate. Over time, regular practice strengthens sleep, immunity, and emotional stability, layering calm upon calm. What feels like silent awareness is actually a deep biological reset. The brain's rhythms guide the body back into harmony, aligning heart, lungs, and cells in a single gentle tempo, the natural speed of healing. Even gratitude leaves a physical signature inside the heart. The heart is not only a pump, it also communicates through subtle electrical patterns that shift with emotion. When gratitude is present, these rhythms become smooth and synchronized with breathing and brain waves. Circulation improves, stress hormones fall, the immune system works more freely. People who practice gratitude daily often recover more quickly from illness or surgery. The feeling itself activates the body's restoration mode, reminding it that safety still exists. Gratitude turns attention from loss toward what remains, creating an inner climate where growth can happen. Even a quiet moment of appreciation can soften the body's defenses. The heart responds not only to blood, but to emotion, and it beats differently when it recognizes peace. Compassion lowers the baseline of cortisol, the hormone that prepares us for danger. While cortisol protects us in short bursts, too much of it slowly wears the body down. Acts of kindness, whether given or received, help reduce this burden. Compassion signals to the nervous system that it is safe to relax, and in that safety, the body can finally heal. When empathy awakens, the brain releases oxytocin, a calming hormone that softens fear and tension. Blood pressure eases, digestion steadies, and the immune system becomes more alert and efficient. Compassion tells the body that the danger has passed, that it can safely return to growth, repair, and restoration. Remarkably, even imagining kindness can create this shift. The heart slows, breathing deepens, and a warmth spreads through the chest. Healing is rarely a solitary act. It often begins in the quiet recognition that we are connected. Through empathy, chemistry becomes connection, and the biology of kindness slowly unfolds into the science of recovery. Placebo healing is not fantasy, it is biology responding to belief. When a person truly expects improvement, the brain releases natural pain relievers like endorphins and dopamine. These chemicals lift mood, soothe discomfort, and encourage the immune system to function more effectively. The response follows the very same pathways used by real medication. Brain scans even see stress centers becoming quieter during placebo responses. Belief acts like a message sent through the nervous system, telling the body that the healing process has begun, and the body follows that instruction with surprising loyalty. Healing, it turns out, often begins in perception, and from there spreads outward into flesh and chemistry.
Pain itself can soften when someone simply listens. Discomfort is shaped not only by injury, but by emotion, attention, and connection. When you are heard with patience and empathy, the nervous system loosens its grip and the intensity of pain can fall. Research shows that compassionate listening reduces activity in brain regions tied to suffering. Oxytocin flows, stress signals fade, and the body grows more willing to repair. This is why supportive care improves recovery even without new medicine. Human presence rewrites physiology. Sometimes healing begins not with pills or procedures, but with kindness. The sound of another steady heartbeat can remind your own that it is not healing alone. The immune system also carries memory, a record of every microscopic battle you have ever survived. After each infection, specialized cells remain behind, prepared to recognize the same intruder again. If it returns, they respond immediately, producing antibodies before illness even has a chance to begin. This biological memory can endure for decades. It is the foundation of vaccination and the reason many childhood diseases never return. These memory cells drift
quietly through the bloodstream, a living archive written in proteins and code. Your immune system evolves with you, becoming wiser with every challenge. Beneath the surface, your body keeps the story of its victories close, ready to defend you once more. Fever is the body's deliberate flame of defense. When infection appears, temperature rises by design, not by mistake. Heat accelerates immune reactions, speeds the production of white blood cells, and weakens microbes that rely on cooler environments. At the same time, signaling proteins guide immune cells to exactly where they are needed, coordinating a precise counterattack. Though uncomfortable, fever is often a sign that the body's inner army has fully awakened, cleansing what does not belong and fighting to restore balance. The feeling of heat and exhaustion during illness is not weakness, it is your body investing all its energy into defense. As temperature rises, waste products are burned away, toxins are broken down, and damaged cells are dismantled for recycling. When the threat fades, the brain gently lowers the internal thermostat and the body settles back into calm. Fever may be uncomfortable, but it is also a kind of inner cleansing, a reminder that warmth itself can be medicine. Inside that living fire, the body remembers how to protect its balance and how to return to peace. White blood cells don't just communicate through chemicals, they may also speak in light. As immune cells travel through the bloodstream like explorers, they send out tiny flashes known as biophotons, tiny pulses of energy that appear to share information about stress, activity, and coordination. It is as though the immune system has its own language made of light. Researchers have recorded these subtle signals during immune responses, suggesting that radiance itself may help guide healing. Every cell emits a gentle photon glow, but immune cells seem especially fluent in this luminous dialogue. Deep within your blood, an invisible brightness links cell to cell, weaving the body into a connected field of protection and repair. During deep sleep, the brain bathes the body in endorphins, natural chemicals that ease pain and dissolve stress. As you drift into dream state, the nervous system quiets discomfort so the body can focus fully on repair. Throughout the night, tissues receive instructions to rebuild proteins, strengthen cell walls, and balance immune defenses. Sleep may look peaceful, but it is one of the most active healing states you enter each day. Endorphins do more than comfort. They stabilize mood, steady the heartbeat, and restore energy reserves. That gentle sense of relief you feel after a full night's rest is proof that your body has spent the dark hours guiding itself back toward equilibrium. Every cell in your body also whispers through tiny electrical fields. Each one carries a subtle charge and radiates a delicate pattern of energy. These currents are not random, they help organize growth, guide repair, and coordinate communication. When injury occurs, nearby cells adjust their fields to call in immune and healing cells, creating an invisible map that directs recovery. Long before chemicals arrive, electricity has already begun the work. Scientists have discovered that altering these fields can speed or slow healing, revealing how deeply energy and biology are intertwined. Within you, trillions of cells continuously tune their signals, forming a quiet electrical symphony that keeps the body whole. This quiet exchange of energy may be one of nature's oldest forms of language.
Healing often begins long before it becomes visible, in connection, in rhythm, in resonance. The heart emits a magnetic field that reaches several feet beyond the chest. Each beat sends out a subtle electromagnetic pulse, detectable outside the body, shifting with every emotion and breath. Researchers have recorded these shifts, linking them to calmness, stress, and compassion. When the heart is at peace, its magnetic rhythm smooths and harmonizes the nervous system. When anxious, it becomes jagged, signaling imbalance. This invisible energy also influences those nearby, forming quiet connections between people. The heart is far more than a pump. It is a conductor, orchestrating the body's symphony of signals. Within its steady beat lies the most powerful broadcast of balance, a magnetic reminder that healing radiates both inward and outward.
Your body's internal clock, the circadian rhythm, is another master of timing. Nearly every process, including tissue repair, follows this rhythm. Nighttime triggers growth hormone and melatonin, essential for cellular restoration, while daytime brings cortisol and alertness, fueling circulation and immune vigilance. When sleep, meals, and activity fall out of sync, repair slows. Aligning daily habits with natural cycles of light and rest ensures healing flows smoothly. Recovery is not just chemistry, it is timing. When internal and external worlds move together, restoration becomes effortless, part of the body's natural rhythm. Light itself can be a healer. Blue light, carefully applied, helps treat acne, eczema, and inflammation by targeting harmful microbes without harming surrounding tissue. It subtly influences skin immune cells, promoting balance and repair. Red light penetrates deeper, energizing mitochondria, the cell's powerhouses, and boosting ATP production. Tissues needing repair gain energy to rebuild. Fibroblasts create collagen, and new blood vessels form. Gentle, cumulative, and natural, this therapy restores vitality from within. Athletes use it to ease soreness, doctors to speed wound closure. In this radiant hum, cells transform light into motion, repair, and resilience, reminding the body that energy and healing are inseparable. Stem cells lie dormant throughout your body, in bone, marrow, skin, muscles, and organs. They wait quietly, patient as seeds in fertile soil, ready to awaken when called by injury, stress, or disease. When activated, they multiply, migrate, and restore tissue with remarkable precision, serving as the body's silent architects of recovery. When the body sends a signal, dormant stem cells awaken. They divide and transform into exactly the cell types needed to repair damage. These remarkable cells carry no fixed identity, only potential, a living memory of what is possible. Their activity slows with age, yet even in later years they quietly respond to injury, renewing what can be restored. Scientists study these reserves of cells, seeking ways to fully unlock their regenerative power. Beneath the surface, hidden gardens of possibility lie ready to grow at the faintest call. Healing, at its core, begins from the body's own quiet readiness. Old cells, too, can be coaxed back toward youth. Researchers have discovered how to rewind a cell's biological clock. By introducing precise proteins, adult cells revert to a stem-like state, capable of dividing and rebuilding nearly endlessly. Inspired by nature's regenerative patterns, this breakthrough hints at a future where tissues may repair themselves from within. Even without intervention, the body performs smaller renewals daily, clearing damaged parts and rebuilding fresh ones. Aging, it seems, is not a one-way path. Within each cell lies a blueprint of youth, a memory of perfect function waiting to be reawakened. Movement awakens regenerative pathways naturally. Muscles in motion release chemical messengers called myokines, which travel through the body, signaling organs to repair and rejuvenate. Exercise boosts circulation, delivering oxygen and nutrients to tissues in need, while stimulating stem cells in the bone marrow to replace and restore. Even gentle motion, walking, stretching, ignites these processes. The ache after effort is not injury, but communication, a language your body understands as progress. Through this elegant feedback loop, activity becomes not just strength, but restoration. Healing thrives in rhythm and motion. The microbiome in your gut also shapes recovery far beyond digestion. Trillions of bacteria, fungi, and viruses train the immune system, moderate inflammation, and even influence how wounds heal on the skin. Balanced microbes produce compounds that calm immune cells and support tissue repair, while an imbalanced microbiome can slow healing and raise inflammation. Restoring gut harmony through fiber, fermented foods, and rest sends signals throughout the body. The gut and skin are in constant dialogue, connected through nerves, hormones, and chemistry. True healing is never isolated. Inner balance manifests outwardly, quietly shaping resilience. Some microbes serve as teachers for the immune system. Certain friendly bacteria instruct dendritic cells and T cells to distinguish harmless from harmful, preventing unnecessary attacks. Without these lessons, the immune system may overreact or even target its own tissues. Modern life can limit exposure to these microbial mentors, contributing to allergies and autoimmune conditions. Reintroducing natural diversity through diet and environment restores these critical lessons. Healing, in this light, becomes an act of understanding, a collaboration between your body and its microscopic partners. Inflammation is both destruction and renewal. When tissue is injured, inflammation arrives first: redness, heat, swelling, and pain. It feels harsh because it is meant to protect, clearing debris and pathogens while opening passageways for immune cells. Yet within the fire lies the spark of repair. Once the threat passes, anti-inflammatory signals restore calm and instruct rebuilding. The same energy that breaks down damaged cells awakens the systems that create new ones. In every flare of inflammation, the body is quietly preparing for regeneration, turning harm into the foundation of healing. Trouble comes only when the fire never goes out. Chronic inflammation consumes energy and delays renewal. True healing depends on balance, the moment when destruction gracefully steps aside for creation. Inflammation is not the enemy, but the spark that lights the way to recovery, reminding us that every act of restoration begins with change. Your blood changes its chemistry during emotional stress. Emotions are not confined to the mind. When you feel fear or anger, the body responds as if facing physical danger. Adrenaline floods the blood, tightening vessels and increasing heart rate, while immune cells shift into defensive mode. Over time, this chemistry can become exhausting, reducing the resources needed for healing. Positive emotions have the opposite effect, relaxing vessels and improving oxygen delivery to tissues. The blood becomes calmer, carrying more growth factors and fewer inflammatory signals. Each emotion leaves a trace in your circulation, shaping how the body repairs itself. This connection between feeling and physiology is not metaphor, but measurement. The heart and brain constantly exchange information, adjusting chemistry to match experience. Healing begins not only with medicine, but with mood, proof that how we feel changes what we are made of. Healing requires tiny electrical currents through tissues. Every living cell carries a voltage across its membrane, a potential that directs growth and repair. When skin breaks or tissue is damaged, the surrounding voltage pattern shifts, creating an electrical signal that tells nearby cells where to move. Fibroblasts, keratinocytes, and immune cells follow this current toward the wound, guided like metal shavings to a magnet. Scientists have measured these tiny fields and found that applying similar currents can accelerate recovery. Electricity is not separate from biology. It is one of its oldest tools. Long before medicine, life learned to guide itself with charge and polarity. These microscopic currents act as compasses of repair, aligning cells until balance is restored. Beneath the visible layers of healing lies this invisible force, steady and quiet, carrying the blueprint of order back into the chaos of injury. Your body produces natural antioxidants in response to injury. When tissue is damaged, unstable molecules called free radicals multiply, threatening to harm nearby cells. To counter this, the body produces antioxidants such as glutathione, catalases, and superoxide dismutase. These compounds neutralize the radicals, preventing further damage and creating a safe environment for rebuilding. This self-made defense system is incredibly adaptive, increasing production where it is needed most. Diet, rest, and emotional calm all support this natural chemistry, but the body itself provides the first line of protection. These antioxidants not only shield cells, but also send signals that trigger repair. They transform chaos into balance, allowing energy to be used for growth rather than defense. Healing is as much about managing energy as it is about rebuilding tissue. In every recovery, the body performs a quiet act of chemistry, turning instability into harmony once again. Chronic pain can be retrained out of the nervous system. When pain persists long after an injury has healed, the problem often lies in the brain, not the body. Neural pathways that once signaled danger continue to fire, even without a current threat. This learned pain can be softened and eventually unlearned through therapy, movement, and focused awareness. Techniques that retrain the nervous system teach the brain to reinterpret signals, reducing the intensity of perception. Over time, new connections form, and the alarm grows quieter. This process is not imagination, but genuine rewiring, proof of the nervous system's adaptability. The journey is gradual but deeply empowering, turning chronic suffering into an invitation to rebuild the body's internal communication. Pain once meant protection. Healing means teaching safety again. The nervous system listens closely, and when it understands that you are no longer in danger, it begins to let go. The human voice can change heart rate variability. The act of speaking, humming, or singing alters the flow of air, vibration, and emotion through the body. These vibrations influence the vagus nerve, which connects the brain to the heart and many other organs. When the voice moves gently and rhythmically, heart rate variability increases, signaling calmness and resilience. This variability is a measure of how well your body adapts to stress. Singing or softly speaking to yourself can calm the nervous system, slowing breath and synchronizing heartbeat. The human voice becomes a bridge between thought and physiology, a living instrument that tunes the body toward ease. Every vibration carries information, signaling safety to the heart. Through sound, we practice self-regulation, transforming air and tone into a subtle medicine. Singing together amplifies this effect. Shared breath and rhythm create physiological synchronization, aligning heartbeats, lowering blood pressure, and quieting stress. Choirs and communal chanting have long harnessed this secret. Modern science now confirms what ancient traditions knew. Sound can harmonize body and mind, making healing a shared experience. In the joined breath of a song, the body remembers trust and connection. The vagus nerve forms another vital pathway between emotion and immunity. Running from the brainstem through the heart, lungs, and gut, it translates calm into restoration. When activated, it slows heart rate, reduces stress hormones, and allows inflammation to fade. Deep breathing, humming, and slow exhalation stimulate this nerve, sending messages of safety to every organ it touches. Compassion and connection activate it as well, linking emotion directly to physiology. The vagus nerve is proof that healing is as much emotional as it is biological, a bridge between love and tissue, thought and cellular restoration. Chronic loneliness quietly suppresses recovery. Without regular connection, stress hormones rise, immune cells remain defensive, and inflammation spreads even in the absence of injury. Sleep and digestion fall out of rhythm, while the body is deprived of oxytocin and serotonin, chemicals essential for repair. Even brief moments of companionship, a kind voice, or shared laughter restore safety signals and reignite healing pathways. The body does not thrive in isolation. It is designed for relationship. Within genuine connection, biology remembers how to rest, rebuild, and renew itself.
Love itself strengthens the immune system. Affection releases oxytocin, lowering stress and boosting immune activity. Feeling cared for increases antibodies, reduces inflammation, and speeds recovery. Heart rate steadies, breathing slows, and hormonal cycles align. Chemistry becomes care, and care becomes healing. Love is medicine written in the language of the body, measurable in every heartbeat, breath, and cell. Even the thought of someone with warmth can subtly shift your physiology, setting off cascades of restorative chemistry. Patients supported by strong emotional bonds often recover faster, not by chance, but because love itself communicates with the body. Affection is more than feeling. It is energy flowing between nervous systems, softening fear and creating the biochemical conditions for repair. Each pulse of care whispers safety to every organ, allowing the immune system to operate in harmony rather than isolation. Touch carries this message further. Skin-to-skin contact reduces blood pressure, slows heart rate, and releases oxytocin while lowering cortisol. When two people share trust and contact, their nervous systems synchronize, producing a mutual calm that ripples throughout both bodies. In hospitals, a simple handhold eases pain and anxiety, speeding recovery for patients and caregivers alike. Massage, hugs, or stroking a pet triggers the same ancient DNA-encoded response, reassurance written into the body. Every gentle touch reminds the system it is safe, guiding healing quietly and profoundly. Infants demonstrate this power most clearly. Skin-to-skin contact stabilizes heart rate, breathing, and temperature while lowering stress hormones. Babies recover faster from illness, gain weight steadily, and develop nervous systems that learn to self-regulate from closeness. Premature infants show remarkable improvement when cradled, revealing that recovery begins with warmth and rhythm long before words exist. The chemistry of connection, oxytocin and endorphins, imprints a foundation of resilience. Kangaroo care, now practiced worldwide, is proof that love is biological, not abstract. The body's first lesson in repair comes from a heartbeat against your own. Empathy shares this magic. Witnessing another's pain triggers endorphins and neural activity that mirror their state, softening stress and easing tension.
Compassion releases oxytocin, activating the prefrontal cortex to calm the nervous system. This feedback loop allows both people to benefit, turning understanding into measurable physiological healing. Neuroscience confirms it. Emotion shapes immunity, hormone balance, and tissue repair. Oxytocin itself is a master regulator of restoration. Often called the love hormone, it circulates to calm nerves, reduce inflammation, stimulate new tissue growth, and even accelerate wound closure through collagen and blood vessel formation. Triggered by touch, laughter, trust, or shared moments, it transforms relationships into medicine. Secure bonds allow this hormone to flow freely, guiding the body gently toward rest, recovery, and renewal. Scientists believe oxytocin may be one of the oldest molecules connecting human survival with social bonds. It reminds the body that safety fosters repair, that peace flows from connection. In moments of love, kindness, or trust, chemistry shifts quietly in every cell. The very molecule that unites hearts also supports tissue regeneration, a seamless harmony between the emotional and physical realms of life. Healing also depends on knowing when to stop. Inflammation is essential for repair, but once the work is done, it must subside. The body releases specialized molecules called resolvins, which clear away immune cells, calm blood vessels, and restore circulation. Without this elegant shutdown, inflammation lingers and damages healthy tissue. This resolution phase is a silent dance of restraint, a reminder that the completion of repair is as vital as its initiation. Balanced nutrition, omega-3 fats, and restorative sleep support this cooling stage, allowing recovery to transform into true restoration. Healing is not only about starting the process, but also ending it gracefully. Pain carries its own lessons. It is a messenger, alerting the nervous system to injury and prompting protection. Over time, the brain interprets these signals, adjusting posture, movement, and awareness to prevent further harm. Once healing is complete, pain gradually fades, its message absorbed into memory and reflex. When signals persist unnecessarily, conscious practices like mindfulness and gentle motion retrain the brain, teaching it that safety has returned. Pain then evolves from suffering into information, from warning into wisdom, a microcosm of the body's larger goal to survive, learn, and adapt. Remarkably, humans can influence even systems once thought beyond control. Focused breathing, meditation, and cold exposure have shown that immune responses can be modulated consciously. By maintaining calm under physical stress, the body shifts adrenaline and cortisol, reducing inflammation and accelerating recovery. Research confirms measurable changes in immune activity, proving that awareness can guide physiology. Short, deliberate practices enhance circulation, oxygenation, and overall balance, transforming recovery into an active dialogue between mind and body. Cold exposure in particular sparks profound cellular renewal. Brief encounters with cold trigger autophagy, a process where cells clean out damaged components and recycle them into fresh energy. Norepinephrine surges, inflammation decreases, and circulation improves as blood vessels constrict and reopen. Over time, regular cold exposure strengthens mitochondria, boosts immunity, and increases resilience. The body interprets the cold as a signal to refresh, rebuild, and prepare for equilibrium. Whether through icy water, brisk air, or controlled winter exposure, the effect is consistent. Challenge becomes renewal, stress becomes a signal for growth, and the body remembers how to heal itself from the inside out.
A subtle, controlled discomfort can awaken the body's ancient systems of adaptation, leaving it stronger, cleaner, and quietly renewed. Fasting is one of the oldest tools for this internal reset. When food is withheld for a period, cells shift their priorities. Instead of building and storing, they turn inward to repair. Through autophagy, damaged proteins and malfunctioning organelles are broken down and recycled into usable energy. This internal housekeeping reduces inflammation, improves metabolism, and slows cellular aging. Fasting is not deprivation, it is a strategic pause, allowing the body to redirect energy from digestion toward renewal. Insulin drops, growth hormone rises, muscles are preserved, and tissue restoration accelerates. The mind often quiets alongside the body, releasing clarity as chemistry resets itself. Ancient traditions recognized this rhythm long before modern science could explain it. In these moments of stillness, the body listens, cleans, and restores itself from within. Healing is not a constant flow, but moves in rhythmic waves. Every organ follows cycles of activity and rest, guided by genes synchronized with circadian rhythms. During rest, energy is directed toward rebuilding tissues and clearing toxins. During wakefulness, it shifts to defense and function. Repair at the microscopic level pulses like tides, timed bursts of enzymes, hormones, and immune cells orchestrating restoration. Disrupted sleep or irregular schedules throw this rhythm off, slowing recovery. Reestablishing consistent daily patterns allows the body to return to its natural cadence, each wave of repair building on the last. Healing is cyclical, a constant dance between effort and ease, and in this rhythm, balance and restoration emerge with grace and precision. Every organ keeps its own schedule of renewal. The liver detoxifies primarily at night, muscles rebuild during sleep, the brain clears waste in early morning, and skin repairs best in darkness. These internal clocks anticipate daily cycles rather than merely reacting to them. Disruptions, irregular sleep, artificial light, erratic meals confuse the timing of repair. Aligning habits with the natural flow of day and night restores harmony. Eating, resting, and moving at consistent times strengthens these rhythms. Each organ knows when to cleanse, when to work, and when to heal. By following Earth's cycles, the body regains its natural rhythm, turning healing into a dance of timing rather than force. Nature, after all, has always healed through rhythm. Even the absence of gravity shows how intimately healing depends on physics. In space, without Earth's pull, blood and fluids drift upward, immune cells move slower, and tissue repair becomes disorganized. Wounds close more slowly. Astronauts experience this firsthand, revealing how mechanical forces guide cellular repair. Gravity helps circulation, maintains subtle tension in tissues, and keeps cells aligned. Experiments in orbit have deepened understanding of bone loss, muscle regeneration, and wound repair. What appears as stillness in space is actually a test of balance. Healing is not only chemistry, it is physics, a partnership between the body and the invisible force that anchors it to home. Red light aids recovery even beyond Earth. In space, where microgravity slows tissue repair and stress is high, astronauts rely on red light therapy. The wavelengths stimulate mitochondria, boosting energy inside cells disrupted by weightlessness. This energy supports collagen formation, reduces inflammation, and accelerates muscle and bone repair. Red light also helps maintain circadian rhythm in the absence of natural sunlight, keeping the body's cycles of rest and activity intact. On Earth, the same technology treats burns, scars, and muscle fatigue. Even in the void of space, healing follows light and rhythm. The glow of red light, carrying the memory of sunlight, nourishes the body, reminding every cell how to renew.
And all the while, your heart quietly generates new cells throughout life, sustaining growth, repair, and vitality, a constant engine of regeneration that carries your body forward day by day, year by year. For centuries, the heart was thought to be incapable of renewal, yet quietly and persistently, it regenerates a small fraction of its cells each year. This process is slow but unbroken. From youth through old age, worn cells are replaced by fresh ones arising from resident progenitor cells. Exercise, emotional balance, and proper circulation support this renewal, reducing stress on tissues and strengthening resilience over time. The heart's steadfast rhythm is more than life's pulse. It is a living testament to ongoing transformation. Each new cell joins the chorus of muscle fibers, keeping pace with the same steady beat that began before birth. Even with age, the heart remembers how to grow, a reminder that regeneration persists quietly beneath every contraction. Inside the brain, a specialized network of immune cells called microglia patrols constantly, clearing dead neurons and debris. These microscopic guardians prevent inflammation, free up space for new connections, and keep learning and memory sharp. During sleep, microglia become particularly active, sweeping away toxins and waste accumulated throughout the day. This nightly maintenance preserves clarity and supports mental resilience. Beyond cleaning, microglia also rebuilds synaptic connections after injury. By releasing signaling molecules, they encourage neurons to extend new branches and form fresh synapses, repairing circuits disrupted by trauma. This reconstruction is slow but deliberate, guided by gentle stimulation, learning, and sensory experiences. Each spark of recollection becomes a step toward renewal, proving that healing in the brain is an ongoing process, one tiny bridge of connection at a time. The brain is further protected by the blood-brain barrier, a selective wall that filters harmful molecules from the bloodstream. After injury or illness, this barrier can be compromised, but repair begins immediately. Endothelial cells tighten their junctions, guided by chemical cues, while astrocytes extend their star-shaped arms, releasing growth factors that seal the barrier. Within days or weeks, balance is often restored, preventing further damage. This demonstrates the brain's remarkable ability to self-repair, dynamic, vigilant, and resilient.
The heart also regenerates its blood supply after blockage. When an artery is obstructed, the muscle releases chemical signals that attract the growth of new vessels, forming delicate bridges that reconnect oxygen-starved tissue. This adaptive process is slow, guided by chemical gradients that direct vessels toward areas of greatest need. Over time, exercise, movement, and proper nutrition enhance this repair. Collateral circulation, a hidden network of dormant vessels, can awaken in times of need, forming natural bypasses that ensure blood reaches vital tissues. This silent backup system is why some hearts withstand blockages better than others, a design of resilience built into the very architecture of life. Even scar tissue in the heart is not static. Initially rigid and lifeless, it can gradually remodel over months and years. Fibroblasts, the builders of connective tissue, may transition into muscle-like cells, restoring flexibility. Electrical signals, hormones, and subtle mechanical forces guide this transformation. Lifestyle choices, exercise, nutrition, and stress reduction can influence this remodeling, turning what was once permanent damage into renewed function. Scar tissue carries the memory of rhythm, aligning once again with the pulse of life. At the micro level, capillaries grow toward oxygen-starved tissue, responding to chemical cues and forming networks that nourish every cell in need. This delicate, adaptive choreography reflects a larger truth. Every beat,
Every vessel, every cell participates in a continuous story of recovery. Even in the most vital, tireless organs, the body never stops seeking repair, resilience, and renewal. When tissues lack oxygen, cells immediately send distress signals calling for help. In response, the body initiates the growth of new capillaries to deliver fresh blood exactly where it is needed. This process, called angiogenesis, unfolds with microscopic precision. Endothelial cells, the thin layer lining existing vessels, begin to branch out, following chemical guidance like explorers seeking air. They weave new networks that integrate seamlessly with old ones, restoring circulation to areas once starved of oxygen. This silent organizing growth is essential not only for wound healing, but also for muscle repair and recovery from injury. Even transplanted organs rely on this mechanism to connect with their new environment. Each tiny vessel is a thread in the body's living fabric, appearing exactly where it is required. The circulatory system does not act randomly. It listens, learns, and rebuilds life's intricate map. Cells nearing the end of their lifespan do not vanish quietly. Before departing, they release chemical signals that summon younger cells to replace them. These molecules attract stem cells and immune cells, orchestrating the renewal of tissue in a coordinated relay. Known as senescence-associated signaling, this process transforms cellular endings into opportunities for regeneration. It ensures tissues remain in dialogue with themselves, preventing chaos and maintaining form. Even as cells die, they teach the body how to begin again. Loss becomes a language through which the body reminds itself to recreate, keeping life in perpetual balance. On the skin, the drama of repair is just as remarkable. When a wound occurs, skin cells at the edges mobilize immediately. They flatten, extend tiny arms, and crawl toward one another, guided by chemical cues and electrical fields. Thousands of individual cells move together, forming a synchronized wave across the wound's surface. Beneath them, new layers form, sealing the gap from below while restoring structure above. This delicate choreography is so intricate that scientists compare it to a delicate dance. Once the wound closes, molecular feedback signals the cells to stop. Every scratch or cut is a stage for this silent, relentless performance, where the skin knows how to restore itself perfectly. Fibroblasts arrive like master weavers within the depths of a healing wound. They spin collagen fibers into a scaffold that is strong yet flexible, holding tissue together while maintaining its natural shape. Over time, they refine their work, replacing rough initial fibers with delicate strands that perfectly match surrounding tissue. Collagen's intricate lattice gives skin its strength and texture. Fibroblasts respond to growth factors, electrical signals, and mechanical tension, shaping each repair to the body's needs. Without these microscopic artisans, no wound would fully close. They prove that healing is both a science and an art, a careful craftsmanship happening beneath awareness, thread by thread. Macrophages are the immune system's versatile regulators. When an injury occurs, they rush to the site like soldiers, engulfing bacteria and debris. Once the immediate threat passes, they transform. Their chemistry shifts, and they begin to release molecules that calm inflammation and guide tissue reconstruction. They move from destroyers to builders, from defense to restoration. Macrophages also communicate with fibroblasts and stem cells, orchestrating the architecture of new tissue. Their transformation illustrates a core principle of healing. Recovery requires both strength and surrender. Knowing when to fight and when to nurture is what allows repair to succeed. Platelets act as the first architects of tissue repair. When bleeding begins, platelets are the first responders. Far from simple fragments, they are intelligent messengers carrying chemical instructions. Upon reaching a wound, they stick together to form a clot, stopping blood loss. But their work does not end there. Platelets release growth factors that summon fibroblasts, immune cells, and endothelial cells to begin reconstruction. Each platelet becomes a tiny conductor of healing, mapping the repair site and guiding the work ahead. Modern medicine now uses concentrated platelet therapy to mimic this natural process, accelerating recovery. The clot itself is more than a plug. It is a living blueprint of renewal, the body's first gesture in the art of restoration.
Pain serves as the body's internal GPS. When tissue is injured, nerve endings send electrical signals to the brain, highlighting where attention is needed. The brain responds by increasing blood flow, releasing anti-inflammatory molecules, and activating repair pathways in that precise region. Pain may feel like suffering, but it is also guidance, a dialogue that teaches both the mind and body how to heal. Over time, as recovery completes, the nerves quiet, signaling that the work is done. Chronic pain occurs when this loop fails, requiring retraining through movement and mindfulness. Beneath every ache lies an ancient intelligence, directing the body toward repair and resilience. The brain also stores lessons from past immune battles. When the immune system fights infection or injury, neurons capture patterns of stress response and recovery. This memory allows future healing to occur with precision instead of panic. Calm emotional states promote gentler immune activity, while fear or exhaustion can intensify inflammation. Each recovery becomes part of an internal library of resilience, teaching the body how to respond efficiently and adaptively in the future. Healing, in this sense, is not just physical repair, it is the refinement of wisdom across systems. Hormones orchestrate the symphony of recovery. The endocrine system ensures that every organ heals in harmony. Growth hormones stimulate cell division, insulin delivers energy to tissues in need, thyroid hormones regulate metabolic balance, and cortisol modulates stress to prevent overreaction. Each molecule is a messenger, coordinating timing, proportion, and communication. When stress, fatigue, or poor nutrition disrupt this balance, healing slows. Rest, nourishment, and rhythm restore harmony, allowing the body to function as a unified, regenerative whole. Estrogen serves as a subtle but powerful ally in healing. It enhances blood flow to damaged tissue, promotes collagen formation, and encourages skin cells to migrate and close wounds. It also tempers inflammation, ensuring the repair process does not linger unnecessarily. Studies show that wounds heal faster and with less scarring when estrogen is abundant. Beyond reproduction, estrogen maintains vascular flexibility, bone strength, and cellular communication. Even when levels decline, proper nutrition and rest can support these pathways. This molecule embodies regeneration, balancing strength with grace, defense with renewal. Testosterone, while vital for growth, strength, and endurance, can subtly temper recovery. High levels may suppress aspects of the immune response, slowing tissue repair. This explains why wounds in men can sometimes close more slowly than in women. Yet testosterone also preserves muscle mass and bone density, supporting long-term resilience. The body fine-tunes these hormones constantly, adjusting for stress, activity, and nutrition. Healing is not simply a race, it is a carefully measured process, balancing speed with sustainability. Every hormone in the body serves a greater purpose, guiding energy toward balance, adaptation, and survival. One of the most remarkable is insulin-like growth factor, or IGF. Released in response to growth hormone, IGF acts as a foreman on the cellular construction site. After injury, it floods the damaged area, directing cells to divide, differentiate, and rebuild. Muscles, bones, and even nerves receive its instruction, while collagen formation strengthens newly formed tissue. Levels of IGF rise during deep sleep, highlighting why rest is essential for recovery.
Nutrition rich in protein and natural carbohydrates sustains its function, allowing the body to rebuild efficiently. Too little and the process slows, too much and balance is lost. Within this molecule lies the quiet drive of growth itself. Adrenaline, the hormone of immediate survival, sharpens focus in moments of stress. Yet it comes with a trade-off. By constricting blood vessels, it preserves flow to vital organs, but slows tissue repair. Chronic stress prolongs this effect, leaving wounds slower to close and energy harder to recover. The body is designed for cycles of tension and release, not endless alertness. Deep breathing, rest, and gentle movement reopen vessels and restore flow. Healing resumes naturally once calm returns, reminding us that stillness is as vital as action. Even the heart protects itself under strain. When pressure rises, it releases peptides called natriuretic factors. These molecules relax blood vessels, reduce fluid overload, and lower stress on the heart walls. They also coordinate with kidneys and hormones, subtly promoting repair and reducing cellular strain. Each surge of effort is paired with a chemical reassurance, a message from the heart that it knows how to restore itself. Researchers are exploring ways to harness these peptides to treat heart failure and hypertension. The heart is not only an engine, but a guardian, equipped with its own internal mechanisms for renewal. The immune system follows a 24-hour rhythm like every organ in the body. White blood cells patrol more actively at certain hours. Inflammation peaks and falls in sync with light and darkness. During sleep, immunity shifts into maintenance mode, reviewing the day's encounters and preparing for the next. Disrupting this rhythm through poor sleep or irregular schedules weakens the immune response. Synchronizing life with natural cycles strengthens recovery from illness and injury. Even vaccines work more effectively when administered at optimal times. The body's clock is not just in the brain, it ticks within every cell, aligning immunity with the greater cycles of the sun and night. In harmony with the planet, healing becomes a perfectly timed dance of defense and renewal. Cortisol, often misunderstood as a stress hormone, is also a signal of order. At dawn, as sunlight touches the eyes, adrenal glands release a pulse of cortisol, gently ending the night's deep repair and preparing the body for alertness. It clears excess immune cells, winds down inflammation, and resets metabolism. Too much suppresses healing, too little allows unchecked inflammation. Maintaining consistent sleep patterns lets cortisol rise and fall in harmony with the day. Each sunrise becomes a signal to complete one chapter of the body's renewal and begin the next with restored strength.
Finally, vitamin C is essential for the body's scaffolding, collagen. Without it, ligaments, skin, and blood vessels cannot form properly. Vitamin C acts as a cofactor for enzymes that cross-link collagen fibers, giving tissue both strength and flexibility. It supports immunity and neutralizes damaging free radicals. Humans cannot produce this vitamin internally, which is why food sources have been vital throughout history. Deficiency once led to scurvy, where wounds reopened and gums bled, until the discovery of citrus fruits offered a simple cure. Every molecule, every rhythm, every nutrient is part of an intricate choreography. Together, they ensure that the body not only survives, but heals, rebuilds, and thrives. Today, vitamin C remains fundamental for every stage of repair, from sealing skin to rebuilding bone. It concentrates in white blood cells and the adrenal glands, supporting both defense and recovery. Its presence is a reminder that healing depends on harmony between chemistry and nourishment, and that even the smallest molecules carry immense power and renewal. Zinc quietly orchestrates cellular division during recovery.
This essential trace element becomes a cornerstone of repair when tissues are damaged. It helps enzymes copy DNA, stabilizes cell membranes against oxidative stress, supports immune cells, and guides fibroblasts to produce collagen, giving strength to new skin and muscle. Without zinc, wounds linger and defenses weaken. Because the body keeps only small reserves, steady intake through foods like seeds, legumes, and grains is vital. Each molecule becomes part of the intricate choreography of restoration, understood at the cellular level. Protein is the raw material of regeneration. Every act of healing depends on it. Within long chains of amino acids lie the instructions for repair, the tools for structure, and the fuel for restoration. After injury, demand rises. Dietary protein is transformed into collagen, enzymes, antibodies, and new muscle fibers. Without enough, wounds close slowly, immunity falters, and tissues weaken. Even hair and nails pause their growth, prioritizing deeper systems. Every bite of food becomes part of your recovery story, joining life's endless cycle of renewal. Iron fuels more than blood. While best known for carrying oxygen, iron drives collagen synthesis, powers energy-producing enzymes, and supports immune cells. When iron is scarce, tissues starve and repair slows. Pale skin, fatigue, and lingering wounds hint at this silent deficiency. Red blood cells act as couriers, delivering oxygen to every cell, building new tissue. Restore iron through leafy greens, lentils, and whole grains, and watch the rhythm of regeneration awaken once more. Iron is not merely metal, it is life condensed into mineral form, carrying vitality to every corner of the body. The microbiome trains the immune system to respond calmly. Within the gut, trillions of microbes quietly teach balance. They show immune cells what to attack and what to leave alone, reducing unnecessary inflammation that can slow healing. A diverse gut ecosystem supports recovery, produces compounds that calm the nervous system, and nourishes the gut lining. Diet, sleep, and emotion influence their harmony. Fermented foods and fiber feed these microscopic partners, ensuring their wisdom continues. Healing is not only human, it is cooperative. Millions of unseen lives maintain balance, sustaining the rhythm of renewal. Probiotics restore balance after antibiotics. Antibiotics save lives, but disrupt the friendly bacteria within the body. Without these allies, digestion falters, inflammation rises, and immunity weakens. Probiotics replenish these species, produce vitamins, strengthen the gut wall, and send calming chemical signals throughout the body. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, and sauerkraut deliver them naturally. Each restored colony of microbes reminds the immune system to act with precision, not force. The relationship between humans and bacteria is ancient, a shared memory of survival, quietly guiding the story of healing today. Chronic stress suppresses immunity. When the mind senses danger, stress hormones surge to prepare for survival. If this state persists, the very same hormones begin to inhibit immune function. White blood cells lose efficiency, inflammation lingers, and repair slows. Energy is redirected towards vigilance instead of restoration. Even small wounds take longer to close. But calm reverses this pattern. Deep breathing, restful sleep, and stillness reduce cortisol levels, letting the immune system rise again. The body thrives in safety, not strain. Serenity itself becomes medicine, written into every living cell. The brain and the immune system communicate constantly. Once thought separate, these systems now reveal a continuous conversation. Signals travel back and forth, ensuring that thought, emotion, and physiology remain aligned. Recovery is not only physical, it is a dialogue between mind and body, orchestrated at every level, from molecules to neurons, from cells to organs. Tiny molecules and nerve fibers carry messages back and forth, forming a constant dialogue between mind and body. Thoughts influence inflammation, immune activity, and even memory. Stress, joy, fear, and hope all shape this conversation. A positive emotional state triggers signals that enhance defense and repair, while persistent anxiety can slow them. Immune cells in the brain, called microglia, adjust their behavior based on these chemical cues, influencing mood and memory.
This relationship is circular. A healthy brain supports strong immunity, and balanced immunity supports a clear mind. Every feeling leaves a biological trace, guiding cells toward action or rest. The partnership between mind and body is not metaphor, it is living biology, an intimate conversation shaping every recovery, every calm breath, and every quiet moment of resilience. Emotions influence the speed of healing. Studies show that people who feel supported, optimistic, or content recover faster after injury or surgery. Negative emotions like anxiety or loneliness release stress hormones that constrict blood vessels and limit immune activity. Joy, laughter, and calm, by contrast, expand circulation and accelerate tissue repair. The body listens closely to the tone of the mind. When the heart feels safe, blood flow increases, inflammation decreases, and cells work together more efficiently. Even recalling a happy memory can raise the temperature of the skin slightly, signaling increased circulation. Emotion writes directly into biology, shaping outcomes on a cellular level. Every comforting thought, every shared kindness feeds the body's quiet need to heal. Feeling itself becomes a force of restoration. Optimism lowers inflammation. People with hopeful outlooks show reduced levels of inflammatory markers such as C-reactive protein and interleukins. Optimism regulates stress hormones, balancing cortisol and keeping the immune system efficient. Hopeful individuals recover more quickly from surgery, infection, and chronic illness. Expecting good outcomes changes physiology, increasing nitric oxide levels that improve blood flow and reduce stress on vessels. Positive thinking is not naive, it is deeply biological. Even small shifts toward gratitude or appreciation trigger the same cascade, shaping a body environment that welcomes repair. To believe in healing is to create the conditions for it, uniting perception with the ancient logic of regeneration. Laughter boosts circulation and immunity. The physical act of laughing is a symphony of biology. Muscles contract and release, lungs fill with oxygen, and the heart pumps faster before settling into calm. This cycle improves circulation, clears stress hormones, and activates natural killer cells that defend against infection. Laughter also releases endorphins, the body's natural pain relievers, quieting tension and fostering well-being long after the laughter fades. Shared humor strengthens social bonds, deepening emotional support networks that accelerate recovery. Even simulated laughter, practiced without humor, can evoke the same physiological responses. The body does not need a reason to smile, it needs only the motion. Within that movement, chemistry shifts toward balance. Each laugh becomes a breath of renewal, echoing through heart and bloodstream like gentle medicine. Touch reduces stress hormones. The warmth of touch carries a signal more ancient than language. When skin meets skin in trust, the brain releases oxytocin and lowers cortisol, easing the load on the heart and immune system. Gentle touch slows breathing, lowers blood pressure, and calms the vagus nerve, the pathway connecting emotion to organ function.
Hospitals that incorporate massage and therapeutic touch see measurable improvements in patient comfort and recovery. Even brief contact, a hand on a shoulder, a reassuring embrace, can shift the entire physiology toward peace. The skin contains millions of receptors tuned to pressure, texture, and warmth, each sending messages of safety to the brain. These signals ripple through every system, transforming the chemistry of stress into the chemistry of healing. Through touch, the body remembers its connection to others, and in that remembrance finds the calm required to mend. Meditation lowers blood pressure and aids healing. Stillness changes the body from the inside. During meditation, the heart rate slows, blood vessels relax, and the brain's electrical activity shifts into synchronized patterns of calm. Blood pressure drops, circulation improves, and tissues receive the oxygen and nutrients they need to repair. Regular practice reduces inflammation and enhances immune function. It also rewires neural pathways linked to fear and stress, building resilience that extends beyond the session itself. The silence of meditation is not emptiness, it is restoration. Each slow breath draws the body's chemistry toward harmony. Over time, the benefits accumulate, measurable in improved heart rate variability, hormonal balance, and emotional steadiness. In the still center of the mind, the body finds its deepest repair, proving that rest can be as powerful as motion in the art of healing. Gratitude activates brain regions linked to regeneration. Sincere feelings of gratitude light up areas associated with reward, empathy, and decision-making. This reduces stress responses, increases parasympathetic activity, and promotes healing. Blood pressure stabilizes, glucose levels balance, and inflammatory molecules decline. Gratitude shifts focus from scarcity to abundance, training the brain to recognize safety rather than threat. Even writing down moments of appreciation sends signals throughout the body that all is well. Gratitude is more than emotion, it is physiological coherence. Noticing goodness allows the body to rest, rebuild, and thrive. The heart and mind synchronize, and healing becomes not a goal, but a natural state of being.
Deep breathing changes stress chemistry. Each breath is a conversation between body and brain. Slow, deep inhalations send messages to the nervous system that safety has returned. Cortisol and adrenaline decrease, while endorphins and serotonin rise. Blood pressure lowers, oxygen saturation improves, and inflammation begins to subside. Deep breathing also increases heart rate variability, a key measure of resilience. The diaphragm acts as a gentle pump for the lymphatic system, aiding circulation and detoxification. Within minutes, the body shifts from defense to repair. Each exhalation releases tension. Each inhalation invites renewal. Breathing deeply is not just calming, it is biological healing in its purest, most accessible form. Heart rate variability reflects the body's resilience. The tiny variations between each heartbeat reveal profound truths about health. High variability indicates a flexible nervous system able to shift smoothly between alertness and rest. Low variability signals chronic stress, fatigue, or illness. Calm practices, breathing, sleep, and gratitude raise variability, reduce inflammation, and accelerate recovery. Athletes, doctors, and researchers monitor these rhythms to assess resilience. The heart's subtle fluctuations are an ongoing story of balance, a secret language that mirrors the rhythm of healing itself. Health is not stillness, it is the ability to move fluidly between strain and serenity. Neuroplasticity lets the brain heal after injury. The brain can change itself. When neurons are lost or damaged, surrounding ones form new pathways to restore function.
This adaptability, called neuroplasticity, allows recovery from trauma, stroke, and disease once thought permanent. Repetition, focused practice, and sensory stimulation encourage these changes, helping the brain rewire itself to learn anew. The process is slow, guided by chemistry and perseverance, but it never truly ends. Even in adulthood, new neurons emerge in certain regions, blending into networks of memory and movement. Every thought and experience subtly reshapes the architecture of the mind. Healing is both physical and mental growth. Within each quiet moment of focus or curiosity, neurons reach toward each other like branches, weaving new patterns of understanding. The brain's plasticity is a promise that repair and learning are two names for the same wonder. Mirror therapy retrains nerves after amputation. When a limb is lost, the brain's map of the body remains, often causing sensations or pain where the limb once was. Mirror therapy uses reflection to re-educate the nervous system. By watching the remaining limb move in a mirror, the brain perceives it as the missing one, updating its internal image. This illusion restores coordination and can reduce phantom pain. Over time, the brain reorganizes itself, silencing unnecessary signals and reinforcing accurate ones. Healing sometimes arises not from fixing the body, but from teaching the mind to see differently, aligning illusion with the truth of wholeness. The body stores physical memories of trauma. Emotional experiences leave subtle imprints in muscles, posture, and breath. Tension locks into tissues through stress hormones and muscle contraction, manifesting over time as pain, stiffness, or fatigue. Gentle movement, therapy, and mindfulness release these patterns, letting energy flow freely again. As muscles relax, the nervous system perceives safety, and the body lets go of vigilance. Healing restores communication between body and mind, dissolving suppressed patterns and allowing awareness to return. Every stretch, every sigh becomes an act of remembrance and release. Healing releases old cellular stress patterns. Inside each cell, stress leaves traces: misfolded proteins, oxidized molecules, depleted energy stores. Processes like autophagy and mitochondrial renewal clear these patterns away, repairing and reinventing cells. Emotional release often accompanies this biology as the nervous system sheds outdated protective patterns. The body rebalances, chemistry quiets, and a new equilibrium forms. Fatigue or vivid emotion may signal that deep restoration is underway. Healing is not simply erasing damage, it is rewriting memory. Each cell becomes lighter, more efficient, more alive. The entire organism realigns with its natural rhythm of vitality, reminding us that to heal fully is to remember peace on the smallest scale imaginable. Healing is life's most ancient language. Before thought, speech, or consciousness, there was repair. Every cell carries the instinct to restore what is broken, an impulse predating complex life by billions of years. Healing is the foundation of survival, translating experience into adaptation, injury into wisdom. Each scar, each renewal is a phrase in a universal language that transcends species and time. Within this conversation, life speaks to itself through chemistry, rhythm, and light. Healing in its truest form is not an act of fixing, it is life recognizing itself and choosing once again to begin. A quiet journey into rest. Healing is not a single moment, it is the soft rhythm beneath every breath. Even now, as you lie still, your body works in silence. Cells rebuild, nerves rewire, and life pulses through you with perfect patience. Healing often goes unnoticed, yet it is present in every exhale, every sigh, every heartbeat. When you forgive yourself for being tired, when you allow yourself to rest, you participate in the body's quiet song of renewal. Somewhere deep inside, chemistry has shifted, tension has loosened. Your body knows what to do, and it will never forget. So let your thoughts drift like slow clouds. Let your breath lengthen, your shoulders soften. Feel the air moving in and out, effortless and alive. This is life keeping its promise, weaving you back into balance, one calm moment at a time. Healing has been with you since the beginning, written in every cell and carried in every drop of blood. It asks only that you listen, rest, and allow the world to hold you as you are. If you've enjoyed this quiet journey, like, subscribe, or share a thought below. It helps others find their way here too, one sleepy soul at a time. Now close your eyes. Let go of the noise of waking life. Let stillness settle over you like a soft blanket. Feel your body ease into its own rhythm, calm, complete, restored. Sleep well, and good night.